Good morning, welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Wednesday. Hard to keep track of the days this week with the holiday, but it is Wednesday. It is May the 27th, and we're here to look at the mysteries being released this week in the subgenre of thriller and crime fiction, the darker side. On Monday, we had a marathon session looking at all 45 cozy mysteries, which means we won't have a show on Friday morning. But today is the day for the dark side. Mary says, good morning. Well, hello. How was your visit? The visit with your family coming to you, if I remember right. Happy Wednesday. The kiddos have gone home. Okay, and we had a great visit. Oh, good. House seems very empty now. Oh, I bet. Sometimes that's good, and sometimes it's not good. It rained the whole time they were here, so we had lots of indoor time. You know what? You needed the rain. They were the rain bringers. Elena says, good morning, Mary and PK. Good morning, Mary. How are you doing? And Mary says, hi, Elena. Good to see you. Well, I believe there's only 9 books today, so not as many. Amy says, good morning, Mary, Elena, and PK. Good morning. How you doing? You know, right now, it is overcast, but we are supposed to hit about 90 again. So I have the French door open, the back door open to let cool air in while we're gone. And a wasp flew in. So if you see me going, it's because there's a wasp. And why I don't have any other lights on, you probably can't tell because of the ambiance from the computer, but I don't have the lights on, so it'll go to the light outside, go to the light. All right. Let's jump in. Nora Roberts has a new, I believe it's technically a standalone. I don't know if this is going to be part of a trilogy, excuse me, or not. I actually have read this one. I got this one as an advanced reading copy, shock and awe, and I liked it. The Final Target, Nora Roberts. He showed up at Arden Bowie's debut author appearance with a copy of her novel and an eager smile. He showered her with compliments and got her autograph. Then he came to her next event, and the one after that. Dustin was just an aspiring writer who wanted advice, Arden reassured herself, but after giving in to one of his incessant invitations and chatting with him over coffee, she discovered that ignoring her inner alarm bell had been a terrible mistake. An introvert at heart, Arden had long craved solitude, but now, after a harrowing assault, she finds herself hiding behind locked doors and startling at every sound. And her relief at his imprisonment is tempered by anxiety when Dustin's wealthy mother helps to get him a paltry 5-year sentence at a psychiatric facility. Arden decides to write a new story for herself, moving to a tiny Oregon town and befriending Gideon, an ex-LAPD detective. But while she learns to thrive, Dustin remains his delusional, twisted self, as fixated as ever and now seething with anger. He still believes Arden's purpose on Earth is to serve and please him, and his job is to protect her, but who will protect her from him? Like I say, I did like it. I probably gave it about 4 stars. I didn't look. Craig Johnson has a new one, 22nd in his Walt Longmire series. Good for him. Let's see. Emily says, hi, everyone. Hello. Lena says, I am good. Just finished Darker by 4 yesterday at the Mid-Valley Library and did a word search and did some reading. Nice. Amy says, yeah, we are expecting to get rain today off and on. Rain is good. I think we're getting like real rain this weekend. I'm hoping. Amy says, yay, Elena. I forgot to give it to you. Yay, congratulations. Woo, good job. Elena says, I will see you on Friday and Saturday afternoon at 5 p.m. All right. Well, on Saturday, Nora keeps producing incredible how many she has written. Indeed, she is a machine. In the future, after the zombie apocalypse, the only books left will be Nora Roberts. Elena says, thanks, Amy. Amy says, have a good day, Elena. Mary says, boy, Elena, you get a lot of books read. This is great. Absolutely. Mary says, I love the Longmire series on TV. Yes. Alrighty, so this is the Brothers McKay. It's 22nd. When Pepper McKay, one of the most hated men in Absaroka County, because that's how it's pronounced in Montana, he stole a part of Montana for Wyoming. It's okay, we let him. Is found murdered on his ranch in Crazy Woman Canyon. Suspects aren't in short supply, but Sheriff Walt Longmire's attention is on those who had gathered for a family meeting that evening. McKay's very different sons, a smooth-talking charmer, a cosmopolitan journalist, a reclusive monk, and a half-native ranch hand who keeps the place running. Each had a motive. Each claims he's innocent. As Walt investigates what happened that night at the OK Lodge, he's pulled into a tangle of old grudges and long-buried secrets. Then the case takes a sharp turn. A second body surfaces, and a wildfire tears through the canyon, trapping Walt and forcing him into a fight for his life as both the killer and the elements close in. I read the first few and then fell away. As I do. I need to get back to so many series. So many books, so little time. I know it's a terrible problem, but yes, I do like his books. The Body in the Wall by Rita Herron, second in the Badge of Courage series. This place had been her home. Now it was a crime scene. The sooner Special Agent Macy Stark can sell her childhood home, the sooner she can escape her small town and shameful past, until she discovers a body in the wall and her childhood nightmares return. Handsome local Sheriff Stone Lawson joins the cold case to help Macy locate her missing mother and uncover a dark web of secrets about both her parents, but someone's willing to kill to keep the past hidden for good. Rome by C.N. Phillips. In the underworld of the drug games, even father and son may be led to face off. Never let the left hand know what the right is doing. It was a lesson Rome Johnson learned the hard way. On top of the world and seemingly in full control of his environment, Rome ran the major inner city drug game in Atlanta. He had it all. The money, the house, the cars, jewelry, and the cherry on top was the love of his young life, Drea. However, Rome's reality is changed forever when someone he trusted with his life double-crosses him by joining forces with his rival and enemy, Slaw. Together they conspire to murder Rome, a deed they thought they succeeded in, and take over Rome's operation. 2 decades after being assumed dead, Rome is called back to the same streets he vowed to leave behind forever. Not for the money or for the power, but for the son he never knew he had, Tusi. Young, and with the same boss mentality as Rome, Tusi is more deadly than his father ever was. Taken under Slaw's wing, Tusi is quickly rising up in the streets as the city's next kingpin. However, when secrets come to light and Tusi finds out the truth about his father's downfall, he is faced with the difficult decision to continue on a path of self-destruction orchestrated by Slaw, or leave it all behind like his father did. Feeling the threat and worried that Rome is back for his stolen throne, Slaw decides to make the decision for Tusi by finishing what he started, even if that means spilling Tusi's blood alongside his father's. So I take it was the love of his young life that betrayed him. I'm just jumping to conclusions. End of that row. Ode to the Bones by Carolyn Haynes. 30th in the Sarah Booth Delaney Mysteries. I put it under this category instead of cozy, even though it looks cozy, because she's a private investigator, and to me that's a different category. There's amateur cozies and there's professional other side. Private investigator Sarah Booth Delaney returns to her Mississippi Delta roots, hoping that long drives through cotton fields and the companionship of her dogs will ease her restless spirit. Instead, she's confronted by a ghostly vision of a woman in white on the Tallahatchie Bridge, who disappears before Sarah Booth can investigate further. Speaking of which, isn't it the 3rd of June is what the song is from, the Tallahatchie Bridge? Ode to Billy Joe. When the local bank president hires her to find a missing farmer, see, that's my brain, boom. Danny Anderson, Sarah Booth is forced to shift her focus back to the land of the hopefully still living. Danny is about to lose his family's generational farm to foreclosure and is rumored to be entangled in a secret affair with a preacher's wife. As Sarah Bruth and her feisty partner Tinky dig deeper, they uncover a web of gossip, ghost sightings, and a shadowy land buyer snapping up vulnerable farms. With the help of her resident ghost-turned-spiritual guide Jitty and her own unrelenting instincts, Sarah Booth must unravel the mystery of Danny's disappearance, confront a town full of half-truths, and decipher the cryptic clues left behind, including those wrapped in lyrics and river water. But someone is watching her every move, and if she isn't careful, she may be the next body swept away by the Tallahatchie's current. Let's see, the 3rd of June is what, Wednesday? Gonna have to listen to that song. Amy says, yes, that sounds good to separate amateur sleuth from PI. That's just always how I've categorized it, so. Covers are sometimes deceiving. Night Objects by Eli Raphael. It is true that I wished him dead dozens of times, hundreds even, but I, Lenny Winter, did not kill that boy. Lenny Winter is 15 years old when she moves from her parents to an aging houseboat off the rugged coast of Washington. She imagines a quiet life spent charting constellations and chasing her dream of becoming an astronomer. Instead, a sudden tragedy shatters her world and catapults her to Blanchard, a renowned boarding school for the Pacific Northwest's elite where wealth and tradition rule. Blanchard is dazzling, insular, and haunted by its own legends. At its heart lurks the Pascalianum Club, a secret society known to shape the school's greatest and most notorious students, and whose influence stretches far beyond campus walls. Hungry to belong, Lenny is drawn into its orbit even as she senses that the club feeds on the very vulnerabilities she's desperate to hide. As privilege collides with grief and loyalty warps into obsession, Lenny's choices will lead to an unforgettable reckoning and a murder investigation that will test every story she tells herself about guilt, power, hope, and who she is becoming. Indeed. Murder by the Book by J.L. Campbell. Oops. Some stories are too dangerous to tell, especially when they're your own. Addison Comstock is a literary icon known for her best-selling crime novels, razor-sharp tongue, and relentless rise to the top. But behind her polished brand lies a ruthless past filled with secrets, betrayals, and broken lives, including those of the writers she's employed to ghostwrite her success. When her longtime editor collapses and dies during a team retreat in Jamaica, what appears to be a medical emergency soon begins to feel like something far more sinister. Tensions rise, loyalties fray, and whispers of sabotage grow louder. Someone in Addison's inner circle has decided enough is enough, and truth is becoming stranger than fiction. As the body count climbs and buried truths resurface, Addison is desperate to maintain control of her crumbling empire. But with accusations flying and her dirty past threatening to go public, even Addison begins to question who she can trust, and how far she's willing to go to protect her legacy. In Case I Go Missing by R.N. Swan. This is described as a good girl's guide to murder meets Fargo. All right. 17-year-old Fenny Allen has been Sarah Vincenti's sidekick for as long as she can remember. Over the years, Sarah has built a reputation in their small town as an amateur detective and a vigilante who has dispensed her own form of justice. Now Sarah is missing. The police have written her off as yet another teen runaway, but Fenny is convinced there's foul play, and when she discovers a binder Sarah left behind entitled In Case I Go Missing, Fenny realizes that Sarah disappeared while investigating her biggest case yet. With Sarah gone, it's up to Fenny and her other best friend, Sam, to finish her investigation. As they piece together the clues, they find themselves up against a decades-old mystery that links to the town's dark history. But is this binder a guide to finding Sarah, or are Fenny and Sam already too late? The more the pair uncover, the clearer it becomes that those involved will go to great lengths to keep their secrets. And when everyone has something to hide, there are more than a few reasons to want Fenny and Sam out of the picture permanently. End of that row. We had 11 of them. Good. Echoes of Infamy by Shayna Steinberg, third in the Bishop and Gallagher mystery series. In post-war Los Angeles, former spies Evelyn Bishop and Nick Gallagher dig into shady real estate dealings, murder, and the appalling after-effects of Japanese-American internment during World War II. Holy moly. Now president of her father's company, Bishop Aeronautics, Evelyn is presiding over a groundbreaking ceremony for the expansion of her factory when she's approached by Billy Takamura, a Japanese-American soldier who announces that she's building on stolen land. Like Evelyn and Nick, Billy is a war hero. He's served in the decorated 442nd Nisei Company, while most of his family were forcibly interned at Manzanar. Their thriving family restaurant and the land it occupied were taken while they were in the camp. Determined to right this wrong and concerned about her father's possible involvement in profiteering, Evelyn enlists Nick in her investigation. What starts as a discovery of widespread fraud quickly graduates to murder. Suspects range from an unscrupulous business partner to a bitter widow to Billy's hot-headed brother. It's up to Evelyn and Nick to expose the truth. However, it's not easy when Evelyn is fending off betrayal in her own company, and Nick's brutal childhood returns to haunt him. Nothing is as it seems as secrets threaten to destroy the life they have worked so hard to build. That's a great cover. She looks marvelous. Look at that. Woo! Glenn Cooper has a new one. Covenant of the Dead. Part of the Cal Donovan Vatican Conspiracy series. It doesn't say how many are in this series yet. This sounds like a Garbagus book to me. 3 nuns are murdered in the attic of a Boston convent. There are no witnesses, no shell casings. The only things missing are their rosaries. Days later, a Boston medium claims her spirit guide has identified the killer, a broken priest with an antique revolver. A single newspaper column turns that claim into a citywide witch hunt. Harvard Pope whisperer Cal Donovan and former Vatican power broker Elisabetta Celestino step into the city's seance rooms to test the theory. What they uncover is a trail of antique ballistics, buried secrets, and a generations-old vendetta that reaches back to Arthur Conan Doyle and the birth of modern spiritualism. To save an innocent man, Cal and Elisabetta must decide whether they are chasing a brilliant fraud who hides behind the dead, or facing something far more unsettling. The dead really are answering back. I think it's the first thing. But yes, that is definitely a Garbagus book. Last one. Beneath a Broken Sky by Joshua Mailing, 4th in the Ben Packard series. The killer hides in the wreckage of a broken town. It's a hot, miserable summer in the small town of Sandy Lake. Detective Ben Packard has finally settled into life here, just in time for a tornado to sweep through the county, causing irreparable damage. Well, they do repair. Trees are felled, homes are destroyed, and people are desperate. Hiding among the debris is someone with a secret. When a mother who made enemies defending her bullied son is killed, the suspect list stretches across the entire town. For Packard, the case hits uncomfortably close to home. The deeper he digs, the more Sandy Lake hums with a tension that refuses to break. As thick smoke from nearby wildfires choke... Now they have wildfires? Good God! They're having a bad summer. Chokes the air, someone from Packard's past shows up on his doorstep without warning, forcing him to confront the reality of navigating life as a gay man in a small town bent on tradition no matter the cost. The heat suffocates, the violence simmers. Before the summer is out, someone else will die. And that is it. Work with me. I'm just looking him over, see if anything catches my fancy. I might check out in case I go missing. Which means, read a sample. See if the writing catches my attention further. Alrighty, well, that is 8. So again, no show Friday morning because we've looked at everything in the category of mysteries. Next week we'll start over with new releases. Other announcements sprints-wise, it is Wednesday, so I don't have any sprints tonight. Our next sprints are tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. That goes for 2 hours. And then again on Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern, and that one goes for 5 hours. You can read a book, you can work on a hobby or craft. I almost always am crocheting during that, but I switch it up with reading. You can close your eyes and relax, whatever it is that is your self-care. Those sprints are those hours separated from your other life to do self-care for you because you deserve it. Mary says, quick show this morning. It was, particularly compared to Monday. Monday was an hour and 9 minutes. Glad you're getting Friday morning off. I get to sleep in an extra 30 minutes, so thank you. You deserve a break. Thanks so much, and good to see everyone. Absolutely, I'm glad to see you too. I'm glad you had a good visit. So, on that note, everybody, please be safe. It's hitting summer, so be cool. And read good books. Amy says, bye everyone. Have a good day, Amy. As the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day and God bless. And I'm going to have some